Seconds and they haven't pulled the plug. I think we're a go.
I think so, maybe.
Hi, my name is Dave Ashley, and I am the pastor of Pump, and I am here with my beautiful wife Holly.
Hello.
And we are blessed, humbled, and honored to have a special guest here sitting in with us. And I don't know if this is good or bad when the boss sits in on your first day, but we are just blessed to have the morning mayor himself, Dave Pratt, sitting in on our show today.
It's good to be here, and welcome to the Double White Network. First off, do I call you Pastor or Dave?
You can call me both or Pastor Dave.
Okay, Pastor Dave, good. Okay, and you can call me the mayor, but I'm not the boss. That's my wife. Okay, Holly, you know what I'm talking about?
I do. So does David.
All right.
You do.
So, welcome to the Double White Network. We're so proud to have you here, not just because we're going to, cover health issues and how to be responsible to our bodies, but there's also the faith element that comes into play. And I want to talk to you guys about that. Well, Pastor of Pump is the name of the show, and I love that as the name of the show, but this is a combination, and tell me if I'm on the right path here. This is a combination of, as I mentioned, health, being responsible to our bodies, good nutrition, working out, getting into a good routine, but also doing it with faith and with center morals. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The Bible states that physical training is of some value. It is good, but godliness above all things. So that's what we kind of put into practice. That we still need to take care of ourselves in order to do what we're called to do, but it comes down to the eternal perspective, the matter of the heart.
Okay, and Holly, with your listeners, as the pastor of Pump evolves and shows go down the road, what can your listeners expect on this show?
Our listeners can expect a combination of daily application, life experiences, our knowledge, our education, mostly our experiences. And what we do is we take the correlation of fitness, physically fitness, the building up of the body of Christ is what we call it, by way of nutrition, proper nutrition, good exercise, and also good scripture and daily application so that overall you're healthy. We want you to be healthy in body, soul, spirit, mind. So it's all about just being healthy.
And not everybody goes in that direction, do they? And you guys have been in the fitness game for quite a while. There's a lot of people that concentrate on the fitness, but they don't concentrate on the inner strength.
Right.
And you're bringing both. That's what the show is about.
Right.
Let's start with the basics. And Holly, I'm going to lift your mic up there just a touch. There you go. You got it, man. We'll get you all set. Let's start with the basics. Where is your place located at?
We're at 7339 East Tacoma, street number 6. It's called Fitness by Design. And it's a private training studio that we do boot camps, Tabatas, we do one-on-one training. And we do it with a little bit of higher integrity, a little bit more moral standard than what I would say the world would do it with.
All right, so Tacoma and Scottsdale Road.
That is correct.
Is that the Kierland area?
That's Kierland, Scottsdale Air Park.
Okay, so I'm the rookie here, so I get to ask all these questions. What's Tabata, or what is that? Martial art? You're talking to a guy. Look at me. Come on.
Well, I did see you on the cover of the Entertainment magazine, and you were wielding that sledgehammer pretty good there. I did see that.
Dave, I gotta tell you, I've been lucky in my career to do some photo shoots, okay? That was the most physical photo shoot I've ever done. They told me, they said, Dave, we're going to have you smashing radios, haha, funny, that company. It'll be kind of a good time. I thought, okay, they're going to have props. No, dude, that was a real sledgehammer. You're a big guy. You can sling a hammer.
I can sling a sledgehammer. We have 2 different sizes in the gym.
Holly, I have to tell you, we want to talk about a workout because, as you know, when you take photos, sometimes they want you to do a freeze frame so they can get the right shot.
Oh.
You should really, this is the greatest workout of all time. I'm holding a sledgehammer straight in front of me for a while.
You're shaking, and everything's shaking.
My kids saw the photo shoot, the inside photo. They said, "Oh, Dad, that photographer did a good job. You're all sweaty, and they must have sprayed you." I said, "Dude, that was an hour and a half in.
That was exertion. That was a workout for
Pass
you.
the Advil. I'm going to the pastor of Pump." Kidding me? Did you put Jordan Sparks through that routine?
She did a lot of those different things, like the kettlebell, the sledgehammers, the ropes. We did it all for her. And, she looks amazing.
Am I allowed to talk about that Jordan Sparks? Is that okay?
It's fine. She's
Absolutely.
a good girl. I'll tell you what, she looks fabulous. Not only did she work out with Dave and do everything that he told her to do, she would email him pictures of her dinner to make sure she was eating right. She followed him explicitly. And then what's so remarkable with Jordan is her willpower and the fact that she continues to just continue on her own. She does it on her, she doesn't even live here anymore. This girl is on her own, doing everything that she's supposed to do, following what Dave taught her to the T. I mean, she's amazing.
All right. So let me ask you this. Now, Jordan Sparks, she's determined. She goes in there. She had a goal in mind. Let's take an average schmuck like me. I go walking in over there to Coleman Scottsdale Road, and I'm going to see the pastor of Pump. And, you know, I'm just off my last shift of Bosa Donuts. What do you put me through the first day? What do you do?
We'll take the assessment. I'll figure out what you can handle, your limitations, your goals, your health history, see how bad a shape you're in, how bad that before picture looks.
How can you want to see how bad a shape I'm in instead of how good of shape I'm in? What? Huh?
We got to find the contrast for so that 8 weeks, 12 weeks down the road, we have a benchmark to say, look how far you've gone.
Holly's already laughing.
I am, because what Dave does too is he takes an internal snapshot too. We do a full assessment. It's not just come in, let me take a picture of what you look like. It is come in and let's go through this form together. We're going to find out what kind of medication you've been on, what kind of activity have you done before, what are your limitations, what can we help you overcome. For me and women like me, I'm over 40. As a matter of fact, I'm very close, 12 months to be exact, from 50. So
You are? Seriously?
I am.
I'm not just saying this to be complimentary. You look great.
Thank you very much. Anyway, I'm very good. So I have to be, by the way.
No pressure.
Exactly.
By the way, hey Dave, Krispy Kreme has a buy one, get one free on a dozen donuts.
Oh.
Okay, I cut out the coupons. So
Now
there you
you're
go.
talking,
All
okay.
right. But, so women like me, we're dealing with menopause and perimenopausal symptoms. So a lot goes into that. My workout's not going to be the same as Jordan's workout. There's no way. I can't compete with her. And also with the things that I'm going through, my weight's not going to drop off like hers did because I'm at a different age. So, you know, we do the internal, we find out where you're at, and then we find out what your goals are, and we help you make those realistic goals. We don't just, you know, if you tell us, hey, I want to do 21 again, we're gonna let you know that's not gonna happen.
Not
You know, it's just not gonna happen. And we're not afraid to tell you that. We're not gonna lie to you because you're a walking billboard. If you don't look good and feel good about what you're doing, and if you're not having any fun, you're not gonna refer people to us, and that's 90% of our business is for us.
Who is a tougher client? Somebody who comes in who is physically out of shape, or somebody who comes in who is spiritually out of shape? Who's tougher?
Most definitely the spiritually out of shape because they're dealing with a lot of depression, a lot of insecurities, self-doubt. And so you've got to unpack all that within them before you can get them to really achieve and have a positive outlook on exercise and what they're doing and setting realistic goals because they don't believe they can do it. They're in there as a last resort. And so even when they see that 5 pounds on the scale, they jump for joy because they didn't expect it. It's not because they did it, it's because they didn't expect it to happen.
How'd you guys get into this? I mean, you're both in great shape and you're spiritually centered, you're happy, and you know, you're a loving couple, and life just seems pretty darn near perfect for you. And I know it always hasn't been. You have to have a few valleys to really enjoy the peaks. But how did you get into this combination of physical fitness and faith?
I take this story.
I can take this story.
Right, and that's what this show's for. We have the time, and I want to hear it from some of your listeners.
And it's really important that people understand where we came from because Dave and I, well over 25 years ago now, we were, I had just come out of a very violent relationship. My marriage ended up with 4 months. I ended up in the hospital with broken neck, broken jaw, broken arm, and I was in a wheelchair. Back then, there were no domestic violence laws in Arizona, so I was given 10 days to get out of the house. And so I had come out of that very angry. That's all I was just angry. And a gal that I had gone to high school with and we worked together, and she had gone to church at a different church than me, and she said, Holly, I know you're not ready for this yet, but there's a guy I want you to meet. He's a good guy. And she knew me from back in high school, so she knew my pattern of behavior. And she said, you need to meet this guy because this is the type of guy. you need to be feeling like. And so on a blind date, I met Dave, and that was awesome because we were sitting on it. He had just got done playing volleyball. He was all hot and sweaty. He was bulked up. You know, he just came off that football field at U of A, and just, you know, there's 4 guys sitting on the hill, and I remember walking up thinking, oh God, man, I hope that thing. And it was, and oh yeah. And so we dated for, he was just
Like an Old
he
Spice
was
commercial
hot.
or something.
Yeah, he was hot. And so we started dating, and his parents loved me, he loved me, his sister loved me, and they loved each other. I had never seen that family dynamic. Dave is doing his thing, his sister is doing her thing, and they just love each other, and they just are a great family. And I didn't come from that. I didn't see that. I didn't have that model to me.
I was the boy in the bubble. I had upbringing.
Life was great.
It was great,
It was
and
awesome.
everything was a positive. My parents, married well over 50 years. That all those things just fell into place. They're my role model. My dad is my role model.
Yeah, they are just an amazing group of people. And, but anyway, we dated, we got engaged, and because of just the way I felt about myself, I knew Dave was going to figure it out. He was going to figure it out and dump me. And so I left him. I gave the ring back. I said, I can't do this. I was, I kept hearing, well, actually, I was flat out told, you know what, he's too good to be true. He's too
So
good to be
it
true.
wasn't the way you felt about Dave, it's the way that you felt about yourself.
Oh, absolutely. He was amazing. He had it all together. I knew, he was just a good guy. And I thought, you are going to figure this out, dude. You deserve something better. And I honestly believe that beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's not that I ran away from David, which I did do, and I ran to Maui and said, here's your ring, I can go see ya. But it was because he deserved so much better than what I had to offer at that particular time, so I thought. And so I was told. That's how I was raised. I dealt with it.
That's the word.
Yeah, I did. I
Well,
did
yeah,
it all.
I gotta
and-
say that.
Absolutely, because everything had gone, was for me. All my life, everything had been positive. Everything I touched, athletics, whatever it was, school, it all came easy to me. And then, boom, I got
Yeah.
rejected.
Man, you got more than rejected. I was one mean, angry chick.
But buddy, were you lucky to have your parents at that time?
They,
For you.
my faith, that background of having the hope and knowing that, I went through some struggles there afterwards with just a legalistic type of view, but just having their support and the hope and support of the church kept me grounded.
So
Yeah.
Holly, you left,
I
you
did.
end up in Maui,
I did.
and then,
I got
then
married.
what happened?
Well, I wanted to have a baby. So I got married to a man who just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And had my wonderful son, and moved back to Arizona and looked up Dave immediately. It was the first thing I did was I wanted to show off this baby. As soon as I had my son, I made a beeline to Dave's house. And Dave met me at the door, and it literally was, he left the door open and was like, walked away. And I'm standing there with Brandon.
She walks up to the door with the baby on her hip and looks at me like, hi, how are you? Okay, come on. You haven't seen me in, 2 years, and you walk in with a baby on your hip, and now you want to, I was like, what? Mom? Someone's
Yeah.
afraid.
And
There was
so,
no phone call ahead of time, you had no idea?
no, just stop by. And just driving by, even though I lived on the other end of the world. But anyway, so, I talked to, Cecil for a while, and of course, cordial and loving and sweet as always, and, loved on Brandon a little bit, and we left. And then, I moved to California. And, when I got back from California, I checked on Dave again. Well, Dave was married, and that just killed me. But I saw the picture of his wife on the desk, and she was just gorgeous, just lovely. And he told me the story about her and her family and the ministry that they were involved with, and I was very happy for him. And I think at that particular time, I really kind of conceded defeat and just thought he got what he deserved. He's got this beautiful wife. They are in a ministry together, or she was in it, he wasn't. He was still fitness director at KNIX at the time. But so I let it be. You know, I mean, that was that. And so I think I checked on you one more time. I was dating a guy I shouldn't have been dating years later. I had gotten married and divorced again and had my daughter, Jordan, and by the way, her name is Jordan Ashley. Go figure. And I checked up on David one more time. I went to go check on him right before I got married, and someone had told me that he moved to the DR, to Dominican Republic. And so at that particular point in time, it was over. It was done. And I got married and moved, excuse me.
What was the reason for the move to the Dominican Republic?
The woman I married, her parents lived down there.
Oh,
They
okay.
had ministry down there.
All right, so you still married Dominican Republic, you find out about it now, Holly?
Yeah, I'm done. I just thought, forget it, whatever, I've lost. And we were I moved to Tennessee, and I wasn't going to raise my kids here. I wanted them in a small town and raised in a small town, and that's where we went. And we lived in Tennessee. And my daughter, I used to model, and my daughter was going through my portfolio one night, and a picture of Dave and I fell out. And she said, Mom, who's this? And it was a picture, you know how pictures just flood you with memories. And it was a picture of me and David and a friend of ours, Brian, on the side of the road changing a tire because we were on our way to church camp and we had a flat. And I told Jordan, I said, that's the one that got away. And
The one that made me change a tire.
I don't know, he never made me do nothing. But I said, that's the one that got away. And I always had that special spot in my heart for David. He always just brought that.
You kept checking back on him?
I did. And so then my life went on, and I had married a drug-addicted alcoholic, and that didn't work. I don't know why he tried, but he preferred other women, so, I said, okay. And we came back to Arizona, and I divorced him, and had a little condo I was buying in Paradisville, and I was all set. My daughter was getting ready to graduate. My son had stayed in Texas. My daughter was getting ready to graduate, and she was moving back to Texas. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to buy this condo. I'm going to start my own company, which I did. I started a marketing firm for healthcare, and I was putting together these expos, and I was very happy. I was in a very good place. I knew that this is where God wanted me to be, and I was finally back on the road again. I mean, I had some really bad 25 years. It was horrible in between times for Dave and I. But I had really reconciled, and God had given me that just peace. And so I really gotten going, putting together this health fair. And so I'm going through the internet looking for people to handle these different types of avenues that I had going on in the sense
For the health fair?
Yes,
Yeah.
I had like a fitness area, I had assisted living, I had just everything.
Nutrition,
You name it. So I'm looking for personal trainers that I could kind of put in charge of the personal training and fitness part. And I go through the internet, and here comes a picture, webpage of Dave Ashley. And
Buddy, you just keep popping up. You keep popping up pictures of falling out, and it's you. And she goes on the website, and it's you. And
I even left the country trying to avoid, just trying to get out of her way, and everything just keeps popping back up.
All
So I
right.
guess
Okay.
this is it.
So yeah, I come across this picture of Dave and this chick, and which I guess is not a nice thing to say, but this is what is going to get me in trouble on this show. But this woman, and so I said perfect fit. So I called at Dave, and I said, I didn't. I found him on Facebook. I liked him on Facebook. No response, nothing. I called, left a message, nothing. I kept calling, leaving messages, nothing. I thought surely he cannot still be mad at me. I mean, seriously, there is nothing. There's nothing.
25 years later.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There it was.
And, yeah, right. Thanks a lot, Dave. So, a month later, I got a phone call, and I was getting ready to go to a meeting, and he said, I got 4:30 to 5 o'clock break. If you want to see me, we'll see. There's a 30-minute opportunity. Come on. I said, okay, cool, I'll be there. So I went and I did my meeting, and I ran over to where Dave was working, and I had this meeting, and he looked like he had been hit by a Mack truck. I just don't even know how to explain the way he looked when I saw him. It wasn't my David. It wasn't my friend. And at that point, that many years later, I said, that's what he was, he was a friend.
Did he look
He just-
depressed or
He
down?
looked,
Or-
he looked beat up.
You don't mean physically, just
Physically, he looked
Really?
drained. And the Bible says when this will happen, it's like your bones ache. Your body is, it just has had all of the hair on. I could just tell he was emotionally broken. Still had the 20-inch biceps, but he was broken. And I finally, we had this meeting and he let me do my spiel and I said, you and your wife, you can do this. And it wasn't the same Dominican Republic woman that he, pictured of it. It was a different one. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, that's not going to happen. But thanks for coming in. But-
You're 30 minutes over.
Yeah.
No.
and I said, okay. I said, you know what, Dave, I'm going to tell you something. I haven't seen this for a while, and you can take the start if you want, but man, you look bad. What is going on with you? He wasn't funny.
how did you take him?
I knew it. I really did. I was in a dark place. I'm going through a second divorce now. And I just wasn't, there was no joy left in me. I just felt just totally.
So when Holly said that, did you appreciate the honesty?
Absolutely. No one else had ever confronted me with it, but I knew it deep down inside.
That's gutsy.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
That's what, don't come to know that. Oh, well. But, I did. It just wasn't my friend, Dave, and that's what he was. And so I went home and he told me he was going through a divorce and that he had married someone that was a Mormon, which is completely out of our faith and they don't believe the same things that Christians do. And we just were like, wow, man, okay. Bad decision on your part. Of course, I was a stripper for a while, so I couldn't really judge. So I said, okay, cool, I'm going home. And I did. And but I could not stop thinking about it. And so I sent him an email and I said, look, man, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but this is what you really should be doing, which is another claim to fame I happen to have on my headboard there. And I said, I really don't know how to pray for you, but I just want you to know I'm praying for you. And so I was teaching a Bible study over at Scottsdale Bible and for women. And then I was counseling one of the women. This was like a Tuesday night, a few weeks later or something. And I come walking out of that Bible study, and I'm talking to one of the gals in my group, and we were standing in the parking lot, and I said, I didn't say anything, I was talking to her. And I heard a voice behind me, and doggone if it wasn't Dave Ashman. And I looked around and thought, what are you doing here? And he said, I teach a class there, I teach a men's group over here on
You
Tuesday
two
nights.
just keep,
I'm telling you, man,
Each other's
it was
lives.
like, it was crazy. It was crazy.
it's a city
Yeah.
of 4 million.
It was wild. It was really, really wild. And so, anyway, so every Tuesday night, he'd give me the update. And to be, Jamie called me a spiritual stalker because I just was like, I wanted to know. I wanted to know how to pray for him. His mom was going through cancer treatment, so I wanted to know how to pray for her. She was a very, it meant a lot. I mean, his family can tell me it's a tremendous amount to me, but so I wanted to know how to pray for her and how to pray for him and the family and everything. And so every Tuesday I would get the update, and his mom was in the hospital in April, and it was just a really hard time for Dave, family, and the situation at home wasn't good, and I got so frustrated and from what he was telling me and the way that he just kept taking this abuse. And it was a very abusive relationship on top of that. I'm watching this guy go through. And I just said, I don't know how to pray for you anymore. Am I praying for reconciliation? Am I praying for you to find an amicable way to get out of a marriage? Is this, I don't know how to pray for you anymore because this just isn't right. And he said, you need to pray that no matter what happens, God will be glorified. And that's when I knew I loved this man more than I even knew. I had no idea how much I cared for him. But until he said that, and then I went home and I prayed that night, and I said, Lord, if you give me another shot with this man, I swear I will blow it. I won't blow it. And
Were you willing at that time, Dave, to give it a shot, or?
No, I was still
You're still,
at the bottom of the barrel.
okay.
But I did realize my only hope was in God. glorified through whatever happens. That was my only hope. That was the only lifeline that I had left for people to be praying for me.
Well, you were down, weren't you?
I was down, and I still had to train clients, which is a very motivating. I mean, you have to be up. You have to be on your game every hour. And I'm teaching a Bible study about joy and about happiness and all this, and I didn't have an ounce of it.
Yeah, it was hard. It's hard to watch them go through it too. And so I guess it was about a month later. And this will come out later. I'm sure the show will be able to share more about himself and what he was going through in that time as I will with my own story. But I got a text message from Dave, and he said, "I'm leaving. It's over." I didn't ask for details. I just said, "What can I do?" And he said, "Nothing. I'm looking for a storage unit. I'm going today at lunch and getting a storage unit." And I said, "Well,
Holly, were you pretty happy though when you heard that he was leaving? I mean, really?
oh,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
I came back
Hallelujah.
I had a plan in action.
Confetti's falling from the ceiling.
I was, yes. I
He was a marching band.
But you have to understand, I knew how I felt. I had no idea how he felt. I knew what I wanted,
And you still don't know.
but I had no clue.
No, but I mean, at that time, you still didn't know.
No.
Even though they had split up, you
Right.
still
I
didn't
didn't know where I fit in that puzzle. He was ticked at me for what I did 25 years ago still.
Well, at that time, my sons were coming in town
Yeah.
to visit for the summer, so I had no,
Yes.
it wasn't even a
No.
thought about what I'm going to do next. It was, how do I get my boys? And then we moved in my parents for the summer while they were here with my folks. And that was my main concern.
But I did come up with a solution. He didn't need to get a storage unit because I had a condo, which had no furniture in it. And I had an empty garage. And so, that was silly. Oh, why yell at me? Just move it into my house.
Oh, you are good.
There it is.
You are
I know. I border Delilah a lot. I really do. But I had a good heart.
And Dave, remind me never to tick you off, man. 25 years. The guy's an elephant. Literally. And he's just not going to forget.
It's one of those things. It just, I always say that first one, that first rejection, that first kick in the tail, always, but she's made up for it 1,000 times.
You know, guys, when we first met, I planned, we're very lucky here. We have show possibilities coming in. I love meeting people. What I really love about this business is the relationships I get to make. I get to meet really nice people. And usually it's about a 30-minute meeting at first. First time we met, we spent a couple hours together.
Holy cow.
Because I loved it, and the reason is, I love your story. My wife's listening right now with my daughter, who's been racist. That's a big deal when you're in that social age group with that girl. But I asked my wife to listen to the show, because she always calls me a warrior. And I said, "Oh, you want to hear a couple of fighters? You want to meet a couple that really knows how to fight back, and that are truly grateful for everything they have." And that's the way I think about you guys. And this is what I wanted your followers and your listeners to know, because when they come to see you, sure, I mean, fitness is important, but it's an all-around fitness, including spiritual and emotional fitness. And you really get that through life's experiences. And what you two just explained to me tells me that you're whole people, and I think that that's why people get done.
Well, it gets better, actually. It really does get even better than this, but I think we're going to take it better.
I'm Dave Ashley, and here with my beautiful wife, Holly, and our special guest, Dave Pratt. But just getting into our story, and it's a good one. It's one of those chick flick type stories, I guess you want to say. The Notebook.
No, I think it's a manly story. You leave her at the door and it's wide open, and then you tell her not gonna happen, and you make her change. I love it, buddy. You're my new hero. And by the way, I just want to say, Dave, I am sitting way across the studio because there's no chance in heck I want to arm wrestle you. I would even play rock paper scissors with you, buddy.
Well, you want to, if I'm stretching or something, not get it. I
Stretch.
You don't
I'm lying.
I have to tell you, I worked on my home office. It's crazy because we have these beautiful studios, but for some reason, I don't get anything done here because I'm always messing around playing ping pong. So I work out of my home office, and when we were working on building your show, Pastor Tom, you guys had sent us some pictures and all sorts of stuff. So I'm working on my computer, and my boys come in, and they try to work out every day. I need to send them to you just to learn a little bit more. And they both go, dude, he's pumped. Look at that, dude. I'm like, oh yeah. And they said, is he nice? And I said, no, don't look smile. I told him, guys, and then I told my daughter. She goes, and you'll like this one. It's so cute. My daughter is 13 years old, and she goes, oh, Dad, you're a big, strong guy. And I said, yeah, I already talked to him, but if you're dating, we'll have a talk with anybody that comes over. I'm letting Dave answer the door. I'm not, are you kidding?
I'm driving, I'll do the chauffeur on that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way I want it to go. If it's okay, I'd like to can we go back to the story?
We can.
Because you left us here, I don't think the story's done yet, so can we circle back? Is that okay? I don't mean to lead your show, but I'm curious.
You can leave.
Okay.
This is, he moved his stuff into my garage because it was convenient. The kids would come in. His mom and dad had graciously allowed him to come stay at their house. And about a month or so after that, I guess it was, I got a phone call from Dave. And he said, hey, I've got to go to a fitness conference in LA. You want to go? And I said, yeah. Dave has always been in fitness, but I got into fitness when I was diagnosed with diabetes. I was 24 years old and a size 2, weighed about 118 pounds soaking wet, and I was diagnosed with diabetes because I had quit exercising. I mean, I was eating okay, but I cut out the exercise altogether, and so I thought, man, this is crazy. And on top of it, I owned a medical supply that specialized in diabetes, so it wasn't a good thing. And so I got into fitness, and so when Dave and I came back, when we all met back in Arizona, we were both into fitness, health and wellness. And so I was ready to go to this conference too. I did have a reason to go besides David inviting me. So we went to the fitness conference together, and when we came back home, we started dating, and the first thing we did was we talked with his mentor and explained that we were dating and told him our story, and he said, you guys just need to get married.
I have to ask you real quick, when you say mentor,
Yes.
physical or emotional mentor? Spiritual.
My
Okay.
pastor, he said, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we follow the story. I'm sorry, I'll go ahead. Okay.
No, that's fine. I don't think, people do need to know that Pastor Comp is more than just the fact that Dave is a fitness professional. He also is obtaining his second master's degree from seminary. He has a master's in apologetics. Now he's going for his master's in divinity. So he mentors men, and then he also has a mentor. Excuse me. So anyway, so we got home, we met with Darian, and Darian said, yeah, you guys need to go ahead and get married. You've wasted 25 years. God needs to use you. You need to just go ahead and do that.
Did he say that to you?
He did. He said, you guys have wasted so much time screwing around.
At your age, what, are you going to date or something?
Yeah,
Here I'm a 45-year-old guy living at home with my folks. Come on, I needed an out.
Why can't more therapists be that loved up?
Oh, he's
You guys
good.
have wasted 25 years, get it done, go.
He will be on the show. He is amazing.
I love it.
He's awesome. So, so we thought, well, we probably should run it by his parents first and just let him know. And so we sat down with his parents one day, and we were talking to them, and we told them what Darian said, and Dave's mom said, well, I can have a pastor here in about an hour. So we decided we probably should go ahead and get the license, and then we planned this wonderful beach wedding. We were going to San Diego or Mexico and get married on the beach, and we were looking at different outfits to wear, and and Dave calls me one day, and it was Friday, and he said, hey, I just met with Darian. He can marry us Sunday or Monday, which is good for you.
Well, he was heading to Holy Land for a couple of months, and so he couldn't do it at our time frame, so he said, I got either Sunday or Monday. What do you want?
Yeah, so that's how that went. That was about as romantic as, let me tell you.
Hey, married is married.
Woo. So we decided on Monday at noon. Sure, yeah, that'll work. So we're calling people on the way to the prayer garden, and we got married. So anyway, but Dave's mom finally succumbed to cancer. They had gone away right at the time we opened our own facility in the Air Park. They had left to go on their annual trip back to Ohio. And we got a phone call that Dave's mom had gotten sick, got the flu. We weren't sure what it was. Went into the hospital and then went into intensive care. And they were going to put her on a respirator, and which they did. And she was on a respirator for 10 days. And you have to understand, this woman was so grounded in her faith. Just absolutely unbelievable woman. Just the model for all women to follow. She just was amazing. And she wanted, that she kept motioning to take it out, take it out. And he said, you can't breathe without it. You will die. And she was shaking her head, yes, I know. It's kind of like, sorry for you, but for me, it's glory. So take it out. And so they called us, all the kids, and said, hey, she wants it out. And Dave and I both, and Dad, Dave's sister, we said, give us 24 hours. Let her think about it. Just give her another day. Maybe she's tired.
You needed the time.
And we
I
did.
did
We
too.
totally, yes, needed the time. And again, you got to take Dave's boys who are in the Dominican Republic. My daughter, who had gotten to know Cease and gotten to know David while she was here, we were all just, okay, love this woman. Are we ready to let her go yet? And so anyway, the next day, then she, at 10 o'clock in the morning, decided that she was done on this earth. She was ready to go home. And so she went on to be with the Lord. And the awesome thing was that when I gave David the ring back, he sold it to his dad. My engagement ring was Cece's wedding ring for the last 25 years.
Okay, I want to get this right. So, 25 years prior, 26 years prior, whatever it was, you gave David back the engagement
Yes.
ring. And that ring became,
My dad bought it from me for their 25th wedding anniversary.
oh, and then gave it to your mom.
Yes, and she wore it for about 25 years.
That's her wedding
That's
ring.
her wedding.
So, what about her other wedding ring? What ring was she wearing?
It was in a drawer somewhere.
Okay, so she wore this ring as her wedding ring.
Yes.
All right, I want to make sure I got that right, and I wanted your listeners to follow, so go ahead.
Yes, that was, I'm glad you clarified that, because that was one of the first things I asked David when we
That's
started dating
fascinating.
again. What happened to the ring?
I want to make sure I heard it right.
I know.
That's very different, okay. All right.
That's why that's my ring, because neither one, so it's my dad, my mom's got, okay. So, my birthday's in December, and Dave's dad, Bill, called us and he said, hey, you're not going to believe this, but your mom bought Holly's birthday present. It's in the closet. And so come on over. She had gone during the summer and bought my birthday present before she passed away. Put it up in her closet for me, and it had a note inside that said it's for Holly's birthday. And so we went over for my birthday, and
That is so sweet because she knew that her time was short.
yes,
So she knew that by the time your birthday came around, she most likely would not be able to attend. And she bought the present for you before and left a note on it. So wow.
yeah.
Now, when you talk
Yeah.
about an incredible woman, I'm
Oh,
putting it
yes.
together. That's unbelievable.
We have found out more things that Susie did
But
before she died.
She wasn't thinking of herself during
No.
that time. She's thinking of you.
She never thought of herself.
That's a
Ever.
beautiful story. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Susie's amazing, and leaves lots of legacy. So we went over to Bill's, and I collect certain antiques. I like mixing bowls, cookbooks, old whisks, and things like that. And I always told Cece I was going to take her mixing bowls. And whenever I cooked at her house, she had these great old, wonderful mixing bowls. And I said, I want these. She said, you cannot have them. And I said, okay. So she bought me a set of my own mixing bowls. And here's what the thing is. She bought them, my kitchen is red and white, but what she didn't know is while she was in Ohio, I redid my house. And my kitchen was polka dots. She bought me polka dot mixing bowls. Red and white polka dot mixing bowls. I mean, she just knew me so well. And, so I opened up the mixing bowls, and then Bill handed me my present from him. He got me something, and when I unwrapped it, It was my engagement ring.
Oh, gosh.
And now
Is that the ring right
this
now?
is the ring. This is that.
We all cried.
You're not
We
taking
all
all
sat
this
around
one,
and
so-
cried.
Well, it's a little bit big for me, but no. But yeah, that's the ring, and I went and had a check, and they said you probably shouldn't wear it. So, but I did wear it today. Just
You didn't want to make earrings out of the mixing bowls or anything?
no.
That-
But
that's what's
isn't
good.
that awesome? And so we had about a 5, 10, 20-minute good cry on my birthday. But and yeah, she's a great lady, and everything just kind of came full circle at that moment. You know, our whole life just there it was. And when I got that ring back, it was just the ring of life. Here we are.
You know what else is telling to me about the parents' day is here's a girl who 25 years earlier rushed their son. And they just found love in home. We love you, we forgive you.
Yeah.
It's all good because you did. And that's really a touching story.
And it's a testament as to the home that David was raised in.
Very forgiving, I mean, it's just loving. There's always that hug that, come on, we'll take care of it. We'll do it.
You want to hear something else really, really unbelievable? David's first son, Hunter, was born on my birthday. We share a birthday. Isn't that awesome? I mean, I love those kids as if they were my own, no matter what. But it's just, it was so unreal when I found that out. But of course it was.
You two have done so much, and you're still doing so much. Did you ever expect that you'd be doing a radio show?
No.
No.
No, with all the school, with all the gym, ministry was my calling. Fitness is my career. And God has just opened so many doors, and you just can't say no. We just got to go right straight ahead,
Yeah.
walk through those doors, and see where He leads us. And this is just another amazing door that we're just walking into. We're blessed to have it.
We are.
Now, Dave, you've been around radio quite a bit because you were at KNIX as a fitness director there for quite some time. So, is it different being behind the microphone, or do you just feel pretty comfortable in sex?
It's comfortable. I did get a little mic time at the end of my tenure at KNIX. I was there for 10 years as their fitness director, because they had a gym on site there. So if you ever want to put a gym on site here, just let me know. So
I'll talk to the boss,
Yes.
Mrs. Brad, about that.
do that. And so I got a little, as Fitness Dave, I'm a little airtime. So it's comfortable, but I'm still never fully 100% comfortable, because I'm always out there. I'm still proclaiming the word, and so that's still.
There's a responsibility, and all of you seem really comfortable with the headphones and the mics. Did you ever think you'd be doing a radio show?
I always wanted to do a radio show. I like the spotlight. I like to be in front of the camera. I've always been very comfortable doing that. It's a second nature to me. So it's just, Dave's over there shaking his head.
That is
Yep,
true. That's not
her.
me.
That's her.
You know what I'm really interested in is, for this introductory show, and first off, thank you for inviting me. It's really an honor. I enjoy this and just getting to know you. But what I'm really interested in as a listener is when I get out of the way on your next show, hearing you guys converse with each other about topics that you believe in, hearing your opinions, hearing you go back and forth, and knowing that you're as comfortable. I think it's going to be a great show. I think your listeners are in for a good ride.
Thank you. That means a lot.
How I look at it is we're just a couple of beggars trying to help other beggars find food. That's what we're doing. We've been through life. We've made a lot of bad choices. We've made some good ones. We've had the ups and downs. And we've been blessed by just sticking to the right path and doing things right for the right reasons. That has sustained us to where we are today. And we've been able to crawl out of those holes that we've dug for ourselves. And even in my worst downtrodden time, I to be lifted up like this right now, and the blessing I have, having Holly and then just being here, radio station. It's unbelievable to me. I still kind of pinch myself to see.
You know what I want to mention too, and if you don't mind me doing this, advertisers. You've had so many sponsors jump on board already to make this show possible, and we definitely appreciate them. But I want to mention that for sponsors looking to give a responsible message to the community, looking to give back to the community in many ways, physically and emotionally, spiritually, everything we've covered today, support the show. That would be wonderful, because this is a good thing. And in this world today, with the economy we've gone through, we see people hanging their heads and, they're going around in dark clouds. You two are so refreshing. You are positive, great attitudes. We need more of that. So I just want to be the one to ask our advertisers to support this show, because I really do think it's a great show, and I wish you the best of luck here. Please know that the Double Wide Network is here for you. Dave, I think you just gave us our new motto, Double Wide Network, beggars looking for food.
We can help. We've been there, and we still do it.
Oh, man, if we does.
I don't know it all. I've been in the fitness field for 30 years, and I've been blessed that I've never had to have a second job.
Right.
I've been a trainer, and so just the blessings keep coming on, but I'm still, learning every day. Just learning how to be a biblical man, a husband, a father, everything. It's always learning.
I think we all are.
Yes.
I have to ask you, how big, honestly, are your biceps? Seriously.
They're about 21 inches right now.
Are they really?
Yes.
Yeah,
21 inches?
my big bear.
Oh.
It's just as gentle as a lamb.
Oh my, I'm gonna work out this weekend. I'm trying to get up to 2 inches.
I'll put that on a program.
Hey, do me a favor,
Yeah.
okay? At the end of the show, let's take a picture.
Okay.
And I want it with me having your arm down in like an arm wrestling match. Okay?
I'll get that with you.
I just want to show my kids that. All right?
Perfect. I would love to.
Congratulations on your show. Pastor of Pump, it'll be live every Friday. And the cool thing about our network, as you know, is we're on demand 24/7. So after your live show, your audience is just starting to find you for the next 7 days. Mobile apps, state-of-the-art mobile apps. And again, congratulations. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sitting.
Did that just fly by or what?
Such an awesome show. And what we do in post too, and Ed's on it, like that little second there at the end before it went into the intro, they just patch it in. So when you hear it on demand,